An interesting puzzle, not very difficult, also not easy. There's a little bit of unstructuredness, a little surprise data. How are you going to handle it is checking. And if you are able to handle it, this marks the graduation from a beginner towards an expert. So give it an honest try. I'm out of the screen, pause it. Only after having given it a complete try, if you don't get it in one sitting, try it in another sitting. Something else might click to you. It happens quite often. Only then continue. So I'm going ahead with the solution. The solution tells us how do you represent this kind of a data. How do you bring that structuredness into it? So I've copied the same thing here. We have 4 last names and 4 first names, and they're playing a game. The winner will collect 10 from others, but for the first game, and winner of second game will 20, winner of third game will collect 30, and so on. So fourth game 40, fifth game 50, and so on. Now the play ended after 4 turns. You have to check, right? Each man, very important, each man having won once. So all 4 people, 4 wins, and it's directly given who wins the first and second. Joy wins the first, Mukherjee the second, Bhakta the third, Sengupta. So this makes the set a sort of easy one to start. And then there's some data like this. In the beginning, Tarek had the most, and at the end, Wali had the most. So what do you make with it? We will see it once we go halfway through. So the way to collect it is, it's actually simple. You just go in sequence, the play numbers. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, the first one has been won by Joy, but we do not know the second name. Okay, now Joy, the first one, he would have collected 10 rupees from all the 3 people and would have lost the second game, lost the third game, lost the fourth game. Okay, so Joy would have ended up with 30 minus 30 cancels out. Joy would have lost 60 in its entirety across all the 4 games. The second one now is won by Mukherjee. Oh, so now I don't know the first name, but the last name is Mukherjee. Right? And so this one, by the same logic, he will collect 20 from 3 people and would have lost the first, third, and the fourth game. So this is 60. The negatives one add up to 80. So he would lose out 20 rupees. And as expected, he lost less because he won more amount and he lost lesser amount. So the last one would have won the most. The third game was won by Bhakta. Okay, we are back to the first name, Bhakta. So Bhakta, but we don't know the last name. Bhakta would have earned 30 from 3 people and would have lost first, second, third he won, fourth he lost. So this is going to be 60, 70, and this is 90. So that's a plus 20. And finally, we have Sengupta has won. So we are back to the last name, Sengupta. And plus 40 from 3 people, minus 10, minus 20, minus 30. This is 60, this is 120 plus 60. And it's no surprise that the sum of this is 0. Because the money is only distributed amongst the 4. Whatever someone has lost, that money someone has to gain. Right? That kind of an idea. So that means I have not made any errors here. So this is what we have, simple state. So now, what initially it was appearing a little tough is not so tough, because you know now that these 2 first names can only be Joy is taken care of, Bhakta is Abid and Tarek. So Mukherjee Sengupta will be Abid and Tarek, and the other 2 surnames that are left are Chatterjee is left, Mukherjee is done, Sengupta is done. So Chatterjee and Wali will come here. Now it says in the beginning at the start we have Tarek had the most money. The highest money was Tarek. Tarek will be either second or fourth. So Tarek will either lose 20 or gain 60. Okay, at the start. So Tariq is most. And at the end, Wali is most. So Tariq is no longer most. So even if you just start looking, Tariq could be one of these. So at the beginning he is the most, and the fourth possibility is not possible. Because if Tariq would have won the highest amount, he started with the most amount, the largest sum of money, and if Tariq is the fourth one, he also ends up winning the most. So if he is already at a very high level and he goes also higher, then Wali cannot be the one who will have most. Na? So this one cannot be Tariq. It was as easy as this, students. So this has to be Tariq. And if this has to be Tariq, there's only one left. So you could easily fill that in, whatever this is. This is going to be Abid. Right? Let's look at Wali. Now Wali at the end had the most. So Wali is going to come in one of these two places. At the end he had most. But he did not start with the most. So let's see. Could Wali have ended up losing the most amount? I'm just, as a reasoning, I'm just saying, say if the case was that Wali was very high at the start, then in spite of losing, he could end up being the high. But Wali was not the most at start, no? So there was definitely someone more than Wali at the start. But at the end, Wali ended up the highest. So obviously Wali cannot lose the most. If Wali was not the highest and Wali also lost the most, lost means you're going backwards. Okay, and the highest also could have lost, but he's not lost a lot and he was high at the start. Then Wali could not be the most. So we are saying Wali could not be the one who lost the most money. If Wali needs to end up with the highest money and he did not start with the highest money, then he has to end up at least earning more than someone others. So he can't be the one who lost the most. And if this can't be Wali, this has to be Wali. And if this is Wali, this has to be Chatterjee. Right? So it's not a very difficult set.